or outside the house, let's gather them and turn them into beautiful tabletop Christmas trees. I have spray painted my pine cone in a chrome color. You can choose any color you want. Now dump generous amounts of hot glue on a wooden coaster or wood chip. Place your pine cone atop it and hold it in place till the pine cone can stand upright on its own. Once the glue is set and the pine cone stand upright, we are going to add some red bead garlands around the cone. Just wrap it around. Add the star. Now glue the star on the top and we are going to add some ribbon on the bottom. Just glue some like this. Twist it around twice, then glue it. Pinecone Christmas tree all ready to decorate your tabletops, shelves and dining table decorations. Run out to your backyard and grab some twigs because we are making a DIY Christmas tree. Take a wood piece or a wooden tray, flip it upside down, some craft wire which we'll glue here in the middle. And begin placing our twigs. As we place the twigs, remember to twist the wire around each piece. Once you reach the top, twist the wire around, bend it a little, you can glue your star here. And now it's time to decorate our tree. Once the ornaments are in place, glue your star on the tree top. And there you go folks, your twig Christmas tree is ready. Hi folks, my name is Priya. Welcome back to Home Trucks. Today we are going to make a Christmas tree with paper cones, jute twine and saran wrap. First we are going to wrap our paper cone with saran wrap. Once the cone is wrapped, take your jute twine and coil it around as neatly as you can. Once you have a layer, take some diluted glue and dabble your yarn with it. Once the yarn is nicely wrapped around the cone, we are going to dab it with our diluted glue and let it dry for 24 hours. Here we are after 24 hours. Now we are going to remove our cone and saran wrap and then decorate our jute twine Christmas tree. You can stuff in some fairy lights inside the tree, and your jute twine Christmas tabletop tree is ready to adorn your home. Take 4 skewers, glue them together, and glue these skewers on top of a flat surface. I'm using a wooden coaster. These skewers will serve as tree stump. Now we are going to stuff our cone with cotton. And put it onto the skewers. Now here is our base. Now we are going to cut out these felt sheets and glue on this cone. We are using the darkest shade of green at the bottom layer. Make the edges round. Cut a strip like this. Next we are going to add a pattern at the bottom. We are using this sparkly yarn as lace. Just add a little glue to the base lines and glue our sparkly yarn as a border. Once the lace is in place, we are going to add our Christmas star right here. And your felt Christmas tree is ready. Did you know you can make a Christmas tree with skewers and yarn balls? I am using a silicone mold as base, skewers, white sparkly yarn, and some fairy lights to make this craft. We start by gluing these skewers onto our mold. Let them taper inwards. Now we dump a generous amount on top so these sticks can glue together. Then we start gluing our yarn around the mold and the skewers. Once you reach the top, if the tree doesn't feel like it's fully covered, we can always go back down the same way we have wrapped our yarns. Here's our tree all wrapped up in yarn. Now we are going to add our ornaments in tree topper. And here is your tree all dolled up. Let's turn this pile of wood scrap into a beautiful Christmas tree. Today we are going to create a DIY Christmas tree using these wood scraps. Take a piece of cardboard, roll it around. Now this will serve as your tree stump. Glue it on a flat surface somewhere. Lots of glue. Your wood stump is ready. Now let's glue these sticks. Generous amounts of hot glue. You can even overlap the chips onto one another. Now it may not look good at first, but we are trusting the process. And keep gluing the wood chips on top of the first layer. I am taking this tree out of the tray, which should be easy, flipping it and then placing it right here. Now it's time to decorate our tree. This red bead garland, which should provide beautiful color contrast. Add some fairy lighting before we can start decorating the tree with ornaments. Next we are going to glue these white pearls on our tree to mimic silver ornaments. For our final step, we are going to glue a glittery star on the top. And our wood chip Christmas tree is ready. Do you have any wooden beads or pearls left over? Let's turn them into beautiful Christmas trees. For material, I am using these wooden beads that I had left over from a wooden garland, a star, some craft wire, and a small wooden coaster. Our first step is to turn this into a spiral going upward. Don't worry about the irregularities in the shape, you can ease them out later on. This is how your craft wire should look like. Now we are going to string our wooden beads onto this wire. This DIY bead Christmas tree can be used for tabletop decorations or can be turned into a tree ornament. Once the wire is complete with wooden beads, you need to turn this end inward so they don't fall off. Same goes for the top. Add a couple of beads. Just leave a little bit and turn it inward like this. Now we are going to glue this spiral onto our coaster. To add some final touches to our wooden bead Christmas tree, I am going to string a treetop star Here is your DIY wooden bead Christmas tree. You can also use it as a Christmas ornament. Just add a string on the top. Last year I made this glitter paper Christmas tree and it seemed to be a fan favorite. So I thought, why not teach you how to create this. For material I am using paper, scissors, beads and stars for decoration and glitter paper. First we are going to turn this paper into a conical shape. Trim the edges. Once the cone is ready, we are going to create these strips using 2-inch wide glitter paper sheets and folding them in half. Glue the edges. Now we are going to make some cuts along the width of the strip. Make sure to leave some space here where you have glued the edges. Now we are going to glue these strips on our paper cone. At first this would look like a party hat, but trust the process and glue all the strips on the cone. Once all pieces of glitter paper are glued onto the cone, we are going to add beads. Once the ornaments are in place, we are going to glue our star on top of the tree. And your Christmas tree made with glitter foam is ready. For this DIY Christmas tree, we are using last year's Christmas garland, last year's ornaments and a chart paper. Our first step is to make a cone out of this chart paper. Start rolling one of the edges, making the pointy end toward another, and then glue this side. Once you have a cone, trim the excess paper. Once you have a nice cone, start wrapping your tinsel garland beginning from the top. Just add a little hot glue. Coil the garland around it. And begin coiling it downwards. Here is your tree. Now let's decorate it. Add a little glue to your ornaments and start adding them to your tree. Here is your Christmas tree all decked up, but I'm thinking about adding this festive ribbon around it. Once the ribbon and ornaments are in place, it's time to add our Christmas star. I have a cutout from glittery foam sheet which I'm going to add at the top of the tree. And our DIY Christmas tree is all ready. Did you know you can turn leftover yarn into a beautiful Christmas tree? For this DIY Christmas tree, I'm using some leftover chunky yarn which I had left over from a blanket I recently knitted, a scissors, some pearly beads and chart paper. Our first step is to create a cone out of the chart paper. Once your cone is ready, start wrapping your yarn from the top. Dump a generous amount of hot glue and start rolling the yarn around the cone. Once the cone is wrapped, we are going to wrap around some fairy lights. Next, we are going to glue our tree top star right here. To add some pearls to mimic the Christmas tree ornaments. Here is your Christmas tree all ready to adorn your tabletop. For this DIY Christmas tree, I am using red sparkly yarn, chart paper, some fairy lights, a star and scissors. Our first step is to turn this chart paper into a conical shape. I'm just rolling it around to have that shape, and I am going to glue this portion here. One is glued. You need to cut off the straggling paper at the base so that it won't wobble when you display it. Once you have a conical shape that can stand upright, it's time to glue our yarn. We are starting by gluing the top and then moving downwards. Once you reach the bottom, make sure to glue the last strand of the yarn. Now we are going to add our Christmas star and some fairy lights. Once the lights are in place, glue your Christmas star on top of the tree. And there you go folks, your tabletop Christmas tree is ready to adorn your decorations.